Subaru, Lexus, AutoNation, and Hendrick take top spots in the 2022 Reputation Score Report. So today we're going to go through the Reputation Score Report and dissect a little bit and see how Lexus actually became on top spot. Hey, it's LSFT here today, and today we're here to go over the 2022 Automotive Reputation Report. The reputation analysis did 35,000 dealership analysis globally to deliver an actionable insight that will help automotive dealerships and OEMs improve their operations and drive revenue. In this report, they've analyzed 20,000 automaker brands in the United States and Canada. They've also reviewed 15,000 dealers and brands in Europe. They've also analyzed 5 million auto dealers' ratings and reviews. With 5 million customer reviews and ratings, I believe that this report is actually quite trustworthy. So as part of 2022, what they've said is the review volume has gone down 3%, and some of that could be related to the current chip shortage and the volume of vehicles that they're selling. But then they also said that EVs have actually been mentioned 34% more year over year. So as part of the reviews and all the sentiments, there seems to be a lot of more people talking about EVs. Then from a key finding standpoint, they did say that 85% of the automotive dealerships customers say that the reviews are very important for the decision making. So if you're going to be working with this dealership or not, these reviews actually make a lot of sense. And then 70% of the customers we surveyed would travel more than 20 miles to get a top-rated dealership. That's actually quite high. 40% of the customers expect a response time within an hour when they message a dealership. And then 10% of auto dealerships that effectively manage their online reputation increases their sales up to 10%. So you could see here, customer experience is quite key as part of these key findings. So then they would look at, what do customers think of car dealerships? Before I go through this, maybe in the comments below, what do you think as a customer about your car dealership? So the reputation data scientist team examined 5 million ratings to find out that the strengths of the dealership is customer service, sales, and their staff. They did get positive reviews, often mentioning the salesperson's name, for their knowledge, attention to detail, and commitment to helping the customer find the right car for their needs. The most positive reviews about service emphasize the quality of service throughout the entire buying process. And then the weakness is pricing, service, and administration. Customers don't like their experience in the service lane. Long wait times, as well as inadequate repairs, factored heavily into criticisms. Issues with the service lane also overlaps with other big drivers of negative sentiment, pricing, and administration. In some ways, if it's MSRP, I would say pricing is fine. But with the markups, definitely, I think the dealerships are actually getting a toll on that. And then when you talk about service and the long wait times, that one is actually a little bit harder to talk about, because if you did get a good experience in the service, will you go and provide feedback on Google or other review sites? Typically, if you're not pleased, that's where you will go into these reviews and provide your negative feedback. So I'm not sure if this was accounted for. So here now we have 5 customer experience questions for dealerships. So the first question is, are EVs upending the industry? So what they're saying is EVs are disrupting the relationship between OEMs and the dealerships. They're redefining the future of automotive service and blurring the lines between luxury car brands and non-luxury. So this is just a start. So I think this is quite accurate because where I said previously that I don't consider Tesla a luxury brand, but they're charging for luxury prices. And it has blurred the lines between luxury and non-luxury because if you look at the EVs nowadays, even a non-luxury brand can actually get you speeds from 0 to 100 or 0 to 60 miles in very quick times, whereas before only luxury cars offer that. So number 2, will dealerships improve the service lane? So customers aren't happy, as I said previously, about the service lanes. So dealerships are actually now adopting new technologies to improve the service lane experience and also trying to find ways to boost profits. So number 3, do subscriptions create a CX problem? Heated seats, smart fobs, and more. They're all part of OEM's vision for a subscription future, and customers aren't necessarily on board. And I think a lot of us are not on board of this. The reason why is before, when you buy heated seats as a feature, you get it and you have it until it breaks. And at that time, it doesn't account for any inflation or anything. But when you move on to a subscription base, you can opt to have it and you opt to not have it. And it really depends on how the subscription will work. Can I actually subscribe per month and then pause and then reactivate it later? So for an example is the heated seats. During the summer months, I don't think anybody would actually have heated seats on unless you have like a back problem and you really wanted to have some heat in your seats. So can you actually now pay for it only in the colder months and then deactivate it for the summer months? And then I would assume that what happens if the seat breaks, the heated seat breaks? Who will pay for the fix? Is it the OEM or the customer? And if it's subscription based, I think it would be the OEM and not the customer. So the next one is number 4. How long will the sticker shock and shortage last? So, as I said, there's an ongoing supply chain problem, geopolitical instability, and the global chip crisis are all factors that are squeezing on profits. And us as car shoppers are paying the price. And I think a lot of us are really paying for it because there is no room for negotiations. And in some places, there's actually markups. Take it or leave it. And that's definitely a customer experience problem. And number 5, how does the feedback economy shape the future? Customer ratings and reviews are fueling the future of automotive. Who will win the race to win the feedback economy? So I think so. I think even before we had this customer experience methodology, a lot of people would actually get word of mouth. This is a great car. This is a reliable car. This is something that you enjoy. And a lot of that feedback actually drives people to buy cars and then certain brands, right? Depends on the person. Some people who actually would hate Lexus because they are very slow, they're very soft, they're not sporty enough, they don't drive fast enough, and a lot of that feedback will have people pick other brands. And then when they talk about reliability and fuel efficient, then we all know that there are certain brands. And how do we know that? It's because of feedback from other customers. So now that we go into a more like review based, because there's so many places now you can provide your feedback, all this will actually end up fueling this economy. So now we look at the US non-luxury brands and how do they actually go against each other. So number 1, Subaru has the highest reputation score of 698, followed by Mitsubishi by 689, Toyota 679, Nissan 675, and it goes all the way down. And then you can see that as we continue to go down, you can see, okay, so Fiat is the lowest one with 607. So 607 and 698, it's not that big of a gap. It's only about 91 score points. So now we go down and look at the US luxury. Lexus is number 1 with 749. And there seems to be a much larger gap in the US luxury brands, with Lexus being 749. And if we go down to the list, Tesla is 456. So that is a major gap, almost 300 score points. But you have to keep in mind, Genesis and Tesla actually uses more of a non-traditional way. Mostly a lot of it is done online and not using any dealerships. But even with that, looking at Cadillac with Lexus, that's still a huge amount, 226 points. That is still a fair big difference. Now we look at Canada. So Lexus also gets number 1 in Canada with 672 reputation score. But one thing in Canada, they did not separate luxury and non-luxury. So now you can see, if we continue to go down the list, Fiat only gets 295 points. So when you look at the gap, that is a fair amount of a big gap. So now we look at the UK brands. Kia is number 1 with 710. And when you look at it, Lexus is number 4, which is not too bad for a European country. So 692 is about 18 points difference. Where they're losing to their competitors is really in the visibility section. As you can see that the sentiment and the engagement is actually not bad. So now we look at France. France, Lexus goes quite down on the list, which is under the average at 13, at 583 score. So the sentiment seems to be quite low. The visibility is average among all the other brands above it, and the engagement is quite okay. So why would France actually have a lower rating for Lexus? Maybe viewers in France can probably provide some of their feedback. So now we go to the DACH brands, Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. Number 1 is Mitsubishi, which is quite high. And then if we scroll down, you would notice that Lexus actually is not on the list. So I don't know enough, because I'm not in that area, why Lexus is not here. The only closest I can look at is Toyota, which is 619. So anybody from that area of the world, let me know, why is Lexus not on this list? Do we have dedicated Lexus dealerships in the area? So overall, Lexus didn't do too bad in this report. They got number 1 in the United States, 1 in Canada, 4 in UK, 13 in France, and we didn't find them in the DACH countries. And I think Lexus still needs to do some work in Europe to actually gain better reputation and more sales. So do you think Lexus deserves being number 1 in North America? Let me know in the comments below on your experience with your dealership. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please comment, like, and share this video. If you'd like to see more videos like this, you can subscribe to my channel and press that alert button to get notified when new videos are posted. If you'd like to support the channel, you can definitely provide a super thanks. I'll see you guys again next time in the next video.